to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me, what do you want to be?
We had a discussion. We are confused whether it's being a witch doctor or... So currently now we've all agreed. We seem to see you as a witch doctor. Please clarify on what subjects you had to take to be a witch doctor that you are. So please help us and assist us.
Okay, so first I heard somebody say I'm a surgeon, right? Who said that? Yeah, she's correct, I'm a surgeon. Then somebody said optician. Who said that? Okay, so I'll give him, I'm not an optician, I'm an ophthalmologist. So he's okay because a lot of people think opticians are the doctors for eyes, right? But today you're going to learn a word, ophthalmologist. Those are actually the doctors for eyes. Later I'll tell you what opticians do, okay? So you asked me what subject I had to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a witch doctor, Pastor Dello. So, yes, I'm Dr. Tichareva. I'm an ophthalmologist. Like I said, that's an eye surgeon. And we do everything to do with eyes. I can see some people who are wearing glasses. I can prescribe glasses as well. I'm wearing spectacles, you can see, so I can test for glasses and prescribe them, but we do a lot more than that. Anyone who needs an operation of the eye, we can give in glasses, okay? So what subjects I had to do? You have to do sciences. Now a lot of people think you can't be a doctor unless you do biology. People believe that biology is what you really have to do, but it's generally sciences. Depending on which university you go to, they will let you know. For some, maths and chemistry are what are compulsory. Elder Simba was telling you about how maths is compulsory for engineering. Maths is also important in medicine. We hardly use it like they do, but they use it, I think, as a screening tool. So you'll have to do your maths and you'll have to do usually chemistry. If we are going to a university, sometimes out of the country, research and find out which are their prerequisites, okay? But generally, maths, chemistry, and another science subject, biology, physics. So if you find that you don't like maths, and if you find that you don't like science in general, you won't enjoy being a doctor, and you won't be able to do a doctor. You won't be able to be a doctor. How many like science? Ah, okay. So far, you all have a chance. It's just about an interest, okay? How many want to be doctors? Okay. Gentleman in the cap, why do you want to be a doctor? Okay, that's nice. Other hands? Bamkuru wangu suddenly wants to be a doctor. I don't know what to teach honestly, why do you want to be a doctor?
I want to be a doctor because I want to be a doctor who makes women give birth.
Ah, that's nice. So she wants to be involved in giving life.
Babies, that's why I want to be.
That's beautiful. You know, it's funny she's saying that because my daughter always says to me, why did you decide to do eyes? I wish you were a doctor who helps women give birth. Those are her exact words. And it's beautiful that she wants to participate in giving life. Hey, yes? Why do you want to be a doctor?
I want to be a neurosurgeon.
Uh-huh.
I want to be a doctor who thinks with the brain. And I want to learn how to do.
That's beautiful. And what I love is the fact that I saw a lot of girls who want to be doctors. I could see you guys were stressed talking to Pastor Tamachamire about whether you could be pastors or not. But this is one profession that's open for you guys, okay? You're welcome. I'll tell you a little bit about why I became a doctor. I've shared the story with some people before. When I was very young, grade 2, grade 3, in fact, when I started, I wanted to be an air hostess because I wanted to travel. I wanted to go on aeroplanes and go all over the world. But then one holiday, we went Kumusha, and my father had a cow that was very sick. And I helped him give it medicine and do everything that weekend. And by the end of the weekend, I felt that I really want to do something like this, but I want to do it for people. So like some of you said that you want to help people. Ultimately, if you are thinking about doing medicine, that should be your primary goal. Don't go into medicine because you want to make money. You will eventually get money. But I can tell you that there's so much in medicine that will dishearten you, that if you go in looking for money, you will be disappointed because you'll have to work so hard to make the money. 1, 2, you won't be a good doctor because you'll be horrible to your patients. Because one thing about being a doctor, you need to have a heart for people. You need to be willing, to even just talk to people, because we talk to people a lot. So you need to be willing to do that. You need to be willing to what we call empathy. I know it's a big word, but I'm going to explain it. Empathy means being able to feel what the other person is feeling. That when someone walks in and they tell you that my leg is sore, you need to try and understand how they are feeling because their leg is sore. So that when you tell them, stand up and walk, and then they're walking slowly, you don't say, you're wasting my time. Because do you know that there are some doctors who do that? Because they went into medicine because they wanted money, or because they wanted to be popular, or because they thought that if they're a doctor, they're going to have power. But it's not about that, okay? The most important thing is about helping people. So I loved that you guys say that. So that's besides working hard in school, you have to work hard in school. A lot of people, maybe one thing, like I mentioned, I wanted to be a doctor from when I was in grade 3, all the way through primary school, went to high school, did my sciences Form 4. Fortunately, I passed, did my sciences A-level, and then I went to university. Studying to be a doctor takes 5 to 6 years. I'm saying 5 to 6 years because it depends on what university you go to. So do you know that's a long time? Because by the time you finish your degree to be a doctor, some of your friends will have been working for 4 years. Some of them will have been working for 3 years. Some of them will have already been working for 2 years, and they have their house and their car, and they are coming to church looking good and buying new clothes. So if you don't really want to be a doctor, you'll be sad and you'll say, why did I do this? It's taking me so long. And then after you finish the 5 or 6 years, if you want to specialize like I did, it can be another 4 or 5 years. So those who are good at maths, how many years have we come to now? I don't want the engineers to answer. How many years? Neurosurgeon. You've done 6 years, and then you do, for you neurosurgery, it's going to be 5 years. So now that's 11 years at school. That's a long time in your life. So imagine if you don't really want to be a doctor, by this time you're bored, and you're tired, and you wish you hadn't made this decision. I have friends who wish they didn't make that decision. So you need to really want to. So you're going to take a lot of time. But if you want to and your heart is there to help people, you'll enjoy it. I love my job. Sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes, fortunately, because of the specialty I chose, I don't get woken up at night a lot. But I remember times when I would have to leave home at 2 a.m. and then come back at 6 a.m. But I already have to get ready for the next day. So it's hard sometimes. But it's very rewarding because you're working with people and you actually see the results of your work. Somebody comes in with their baby that's coughing and that has a fever, and then you help them, and by the time they go, baby is feeling better. Or they phone you 4 hours later and say, baby is finally asleep. That's nice. Hey, you know, like Rachel was saying, helping somebody have a baby. And then they come in and they're ready to have a baby and you help them and they walk out with their baby. That's beautiful, okay? So it's a job that you'll actually see the results of your work, and it's rewarding. But you have to work hard. It can take a lot of time, but you'll get there and you'll enjoy it. Another thing I love about our job, Pastor was talking about how his job helps him to meet people and to preach the word of God. Do you know that when you're a doctor, people tell you their problems? They tell you all their problems, even the problems that are not about their body. They tell you that I'm sad because my mommy is sick, or they tell you that, you know, you can come because your foot is sore, and then you tell me my foot is sore, but I'm also sad because I didn't pass my exams. So it's also a chance for me to tell them about Jesus. Do you know that? So many people who come to me, we deal with their problems, but I also have a chance to tell them about Jesus. So that's why it's a beautiful profession for me. I love it. I'm a person who talks, and I like talking to people. So for me, it's also perfect. I get to talk to them about my job, but I also get to tell them about God. Okay. There's a lot I can talk about my profession. I know there are things that you've heard. I've mentioned about it taking a long time. It's true, it takes a long time, but when you get to the end of it, you will be happy. Another thing people talk about, what else do people say about doctors? that you might be what? They're what?
They're very rough.
Oh yes, like you mentioned, yeah, like I said, there's some horrible doctors. But I believe that some of those people is because they did it and it actually wasn't the job for them. Another thing you shouldn't do is don't become a doctor because mommy and daddy say become a doctor. Do you know that? Yeah, there are mommies and daddies who say, I want my daughter to be a doctor no matter what, or I want my son to be a doctor. Don't do that because you'll be the horrible doctor Pastor Darrell is talking about, because you don't want to do the job. But you only did it because mommy and daddy said you should do it. So you won't be nice to people, okay? Yeah, but there are some really nice doctors. Huh? Ruel came to my office, wasn't I nice? You see, I was very nice to Ruel. What can he say? So yeah, so there are some really nice doctors. Not every doctor is horrible, okay? So, I feel like there's a lot I could say, but maybe let's go into questions and answer what they want to hear.
I now found a surgeon for my eye. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I've always been scared to go because they told me it's supposed to be cut. And I always think you guys want to just cut.
We don't just cut. We cut when necessary.
You right That's anyone who feels like doctors just want to give you an injection all the time. Like there's not a better one time. I knew you were feeling me. Yeah, because every time I go there, someone wants to stare at me all the time.
All the time.
Couldn't they find COVID tablets? No, it
had to be an injection.
It was like, why did you get it? Anyone with questions for the doctor?
Yeah.
I know someone in the room who wanted to be a doctor until she was writing Form 4.
And then things changed.
And then came here today and confirmed outside that I'll never do that again. Somewhere in here, I don't know if she can identify.
If she can identify herself.
She's somewhere in here.
I think I can see her somewhere in the spirit. I am.
In Form 1 she was a doctor, Form 2 she was a doctor, Form 3 she was a doctor, Form 4 she said no, I had to do commercials.
Things changed.
Yes, I think maybe the economy. Probably I just have a question for the doctor. 1, 3, 4, 5. Just these 5.
Okay, I will start there. Oh yes, I said I'll tell you that. So, an optician is somebody who has specialized in prescribing lenses. So when we're saying lenses, we mean these glasses, okay? Have you heard about contact lenses? Yes, contact lenses are the ones that you actually put in your eye. All sorts of lenses, anything that helps with seeing. That's what an optician does. An easy way of explaining it is like they're a pharmacist for lenses. So they know everything to do with glasses. They even know better than us in some ways. When we have difficult patients, we'll actually go and say, we need to discuss this patient, what do we do? So they're the ones who do that. But the difference is an ophthalmologist now has gone through being a doctor and then specialized in eyes. So in specializing in eyes, it's everything about the eyes, including people who need glasses. So we can give glasses like an optician, but we then do all the other things like cutting Pastor Darrell, which an optician can't do. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Where were we? Tower, then who was in front of Tower? Yeah.
Like if you now want to be like an advanced doctor, how many years do you have to study on top of the 4 or 5 years?
Okay, so like I said, you do your 5 or 6 years in the beginning, and then you specialize. You specialize, it can be 4 or 5 years depending on what specialty. My specialty was 4 years. If she wants to be a neurosurgeon, it's 5 years. Some specialties are even 3 years, okay? But then nowadays, because you know there's technology and things are advancing, there are even specialists. So like I'm an ophthalmologist, I can decide to even specialize about something specific about the eye and just focus on that. That can be another 1, 2, or 3 years. So depending on how far you want to go, it can be 15 years of learning. But generally 6 years, 5 or 6 years the first degree, and then specializing is about 4 years. So I think that should answer your question. Who was next? Yes, ma'am.
What do some doctors practice better? It's like some doctors smoke and then they are
Put up my hand.
You had the feeling.
I just want to say the feeling has been confirmed. Go ahead.
I like the question.
like doctors, they say smoking is bad. And
But
then
they smoke.
they're smoking.
Yeah. Okay. I like your question because at the end of the day, medicine is a profession. It's a job. Like I said, for some people, there are people who come because I'm sure you've heard people saying medicine is a calling. In an ideal world, that would be true. People who are called, people who want to help people are the only people who would come and do medicine. But that's not true. Like I said, there are some people who come for money. There are some people who come because their parents made them doctors. There are some people who come because, so many different reasons, because they think they'll have power, because they are, So somebody like that, they know everything that the textbook says, but they have no heart in it, so they will continue to live their lives. And their lives can be drinking, can be smoking. There are some doctors who even take drugs. There are doctors who are drug addicts. There are doctors who do all sorts of things. And also, so that's one thing. The second thing, remember that doctors are also humans. They struggle with sin and just like everybody else. So some of them know that they should stop smoking, but they are also struggling. So they are still working on it. So I think that would be the summary. They know what they should be doing, but they are not doing it. Yeah. 1, 2, and then maybe at the back again. Yes. Oh, that was your question. Okay, yes.
My question is, for example, when you were doing medicine, didn't you feel like giving up? Why is it most people, when they are in A level and they now want to do sciences, they give up? Like what Pastor Katisha was saying, someone ended up doing it.
Okay, I think anything, no matter what you are going to pursue in life, like all of you guys, whether you're going to do medicine, whether you're going to do accounting, whether you're going to go into the business sector and not follow a specific profession, whatever you're going to do, there are times when things are going to be hard. I'm sure my colleagues here can confirm. Sometimes things get tough. And to see me standing here, you'd think, okay, so now she's fine. But there are times when I was literally at school thinking, why did I even start this? Where I wished I had stopped somewhere along the way. Because things will get hard. No matter where you are, grade 7, there are stages when things get hard. But sometimes, I believe, if God has placed this desire in you to do something, and you're serious about it, He can equip you, He can give you the strength to overcome, keep going, and you'll get there. So it will be hard, and there will be hard days when you ask yourself, I seriously should have done something easier. But if you keep at it, and if you're focused, and you say to yourself, I'm going to do it somehow, God will take you through, and yeah, you'll get there. Gentleman at the back.
So what if you prescribe the medicine to someone, and the time the case are feeling that they end up taking over the medicine for them? Will there be any consequences for that on your side?
On my side. So fortunately, I have my responsibilities as a professional in terms of making sure I prescribe the right medication to you, but you also have a responsibility as an individual to not overdose yourself. I should instruct you properly. This medication, you're supposed to take it 3 times a day, 2 tablets or 10 milliliters or whatever. If you then knowingly, having been well informed by me, by the pharmacist, if you knowingly then decide you want to take 4 tablets instead of 2, it's your responsibility. But if I didn't inform you properly and you had to guess, then the responsibility is mine. Yeah. Roll.
So I wanted to ask if you are doing this ophthalmology thing, how many subjects?
So at most, so nowadays people are doing 7, 8 subjects at A level. All they want is 3. That's the good thing. So like I told you that usually, like for Zimbabwean universities, they want maths and chemistry. And then it can either be physics or biology, your 3rd subject. If you're going to go to university out of the country, you can research. They might have slightly different requirements. But generally, they want the science, what are called the STEM subjects. That's what you needed. That's what I needed. 3 of them is usually adequate. If you want to do 10, fine, but the extra 7 won't give you any added benefits.
Thank you so much, Doc. You counsel people, you help people, you're not paid much. That sounds like ministry to you.
Yes.
For those who wanted to be pastors, but you're asking, here's a job for you. It's almost the same. Yeah. So if you're struggling with sciences, choose which doctor. I'm not saying choose to be a witch doctor. Choose which doctor you want to be. Is this another question?
Yeah, getting nervous.
Which doctor gets paid is he something?
No, we said which doctor, as in choose which doctor you want to be.
No, that's the question.
Or which doctors we don't know. We don't know. We don't even talk about them because we're Christians. Yeah, to talk about them would mean we understand them. So I was saying choose which doctor you're going to be. Don't touch this. Thank you so much, Doc. Yes.
You're very
I'll come to your
welcome.
office one of these days.
Please do.
I would like
I want to be a police officer and work at the police station. I want to be a teacher and work at a school. I want to be a firefighter and work at the fire station. I want to be a nurse and work at the hospital. I want to be a chef or a vet. I want to be a scientist. Can you tell me, what do you want to be? 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 Can you tell me? A chef, a teacher, a firefighter, a scientist or an astronaut, a police officer, a doctor or a nurse. What do you want to be? Oh, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor and help people every day. I want to be an astronaut and fly my rocket into space.